Good morning, students. Welcome to the online tutorial of Sri Eknath Rao Khadse Talent School. I am your new science teacher. So let us start with the first chapter of science, class 10, that is chemical reactions and equations. Let's get started. First, we'll read about what are chemical reactions. Chemical reactions, it is a process in which one or more substances form new substances. That is, one or more substances combine or get separated to form new substances is known as a chemical reaction. It cannot be reversed by physical method. You have learned earlier about the physical methods that are magnetism, filtration, distillation, centrifugation, evaporation, etc. So what physical changes a chemical reaction involves are it it due to chemical reaction, change in state occurs. Do you know about the state of matter, that is solid, liquid, gas? So due to the change in state in chemical reaction, solid is converted into means gets changes from solid to liquid or liquid to gas, gas to solid, or this state change happens, change in color happens, change in temperature. You have learned about exothermic and endothermic reactions. So evolution of heat and decrease of heat, these types of temperature increase and decrease. So change in temperature also takes place. Evolution of gas, formation of bubble, and evolution of gas also takes place. Now chemical reactions that happens in our day-to-day life are digestion of food, respiration, rusting of iron, formation of curd. All the metabolic activities that we perform, that our body performs, all are chemical reactions. So all day to day are the examples of chemical reactions. So rusting of iron, it is a slow process. It cannot be seen drastically. We cannot see this reaction, but it is a slow process. Okay. Now we'll see about the components of chemical reactions, that are reactants and product. First we'll see reactants. Reactants are the substances that takes part in chemical reactions. Means these are the substances through which new product is formed. And what a product is? Product is a substance which are formed in a chemical reactions. Now how to write a chemical reactions, how we can symbolize or how we can represent a chemical reactions. To represent a chemical reactions, we have chemical equations. So let us see what chemical equations are. Chemical equation. A chemical reaction can be represented by a chemical equation. It involves uses of symbols of substances of reactants and product with mention of physical state. You have gone through about the physical states. Physical state, that is solid, liquid, gas. These are the physical state. To represent a solid state, we will write S in bracket. For liquid, L. For gas, we use G, and for aqueous, we use AQ. Aqueous is what? Aqueous is a solution where the solvent is water. Water is used as a solvent in that solution. Now we will see one example of chemical equation and reaction. We have seen this example before, that is magnesium ribbon is burned in air which gives us magnesium oxide. Everyone, we know here that the gas which is responsible for burning is oxygen. So when we use air, it is simply mean that oxygen is helping in burning. So magnesium ribbon, when it is burned in the presence of oxygen, it gives us magnesium oxide. Here we will write a chemical equation for this. Magnesium, symbol for magnesium ribbon, magnesium is Mg, plus it is a reactant. So whenever we are writing substances which are taking part in the equation, so we will represent that with a symbol, that is this plus addition symbol. When burned in the in presence of oxygen, oxygen is also taking place, so symbol of oxygen, that is O2, and this arrow will represent that reaction is taking place, and at the head of this arrow we will write product. What we are getting as a product, that is magnesium oxide, so MgO. Now the substances or the substances which are written over The tail side of this arrow are known as what? These are what? Reactants. These are reactants, and written at the right side are known as what? Product. Now we will write this equation in the form of physical state. So let us write. Magnesium is solid plus oxygen. Oxygen is a gas. We will write G for this, and MgO, magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide is a solid. So in this way we will represent a chemical equation. Okay. Now we'll see how to balance this chemical equation. Is this chemical equation is balanced or not? Now we'll see either the balance equation is balanced or not, or how to do the balancing of equation. So first we'll see this equation, that is Fe plus H2O when combines both forms Fe3O4 plus H2O. So here we will see in reactant side Fe is 1, here the atoms of Fe are 3. H2O, here H2 hydrogen is twice, here also hydrogen is twice present, here oxygen is only one atom, and here 4 oxygens are present. So we can directly say that this equation is not equation is not balanced. So here we need to balance the equation, that is we have to maintain a balance between the atoms present in the reactant side and in the product side. So to do this, first we have to make this type of table. Here we can write in one column, here we will write the elements which are present, one side reactant and then product. So here we will write all the elements which are present in the reaction, which are taking part in the chemical reactions, that are Fe, hydrogen and oxygen. So in reactant side, how much Fe atoms are present? For iron are present, one iron element is present, right? Hydrogen is present, how many hydrogens are present? 2 hydrogens are present. And how much oxygen are present? 1 oxygen is present. Then in product side, how many iron are present? That are 3. 3 iron are present. Hydrogen, how many hydrogens are there? 2 hydrogens are there. And oxygen, 4 oxygens are there. So here we can see that it is not a balanced, है ना? Products are not balanced, these elements are not balanced. So here we are required to balance the equation. So to first to balance the equation, first we have to convert this, we have to close this reactants and product in a closed bracket. First rule is to close this in a bracket form, right? So whatever changes we are needed to do, that are to be written outside these brackets. Okay, so here what we will write, see here 3 Fe are there, and here 1 Fe is there. To balance this, what we will do, we will multiply this reactant side with 3, so that Fe get balanced, right? Then hydrogen, about hydrogen are balanced. Okay, 2 hydrogens are present. Then we will do with oxygen. Here 1 oxygen is present, here 4 oxygens are present. To balance that, what we have to do, we have to again multiply here it by 4, right? But so first we will we'll go with this only. We'll write here Okay, so here we will write, here in a reactant side we have done the multiplication of 3. So with Fe we will write 3 here, so it can get multiplied with it. So we have now in reactant side 3 molecules of Fe, 3 atoms of Fe. Then H2O is balanced but oxygen is not balanced, so this 4 we will write this side. Okay, but what a problem raised here, that when we write this 4 here, that oxygen becomes 4 but hydrogen also become 8, and as 4 into 2 equals to 8. So here the amount of hydrogen is also increased. So our hydrogen is not balanced in this product side. So what we have to do, we have to balance this hydrogen too. To balance this hydrogen, what we are supposed to do now, we have to multiply, we have to increase the amount of hydrogen in this product side. So in the here we will what we will do, we will do 2 into here we will write 4, so it will become 8. So here what we will do, here we will multiply this hydrogen with 4, so we can get balanced chemical equation. Now you can see 3 Fe atoms are present here, here are also 3. Oxygen here 4, here 4 oxygen are present. Hydrogen 8, here hydrogen 8 are present. So in this type we can say that this equation is balanced. Now we have to write this equation with the physical symbols or with physical state. So how we will write this? 3 Fe plus 4 H2O. The Fe is solid, so that's why we have written S. H2O is liquid. Fe3O4, that is solid again. Plus 4H2. That is gas. Okay, now this is balanced. Okay. Now we will see one more example to balance a chemical equation. This example we have seen earlier. Mg plus O2 gives MgO. So it is a common example, or it is a small equation, so we can balance this without making a table. So let us see here. Magnesium, here magnesium 1 is present, here also one element of magnesium is present, here 2 oxygen molecules are present, here only 1 oxygen molecule is present. So to balance this oxygen, what we will do, we will multiply this whole with 2, because we cannot change here in one element. So in this whole we will multiply by 2. By multiplying here 2, the elements of magnesium also become 2. So here what we will do, to balance this magnesium, here also we will multiply this magnesium with 2. So now the equation is balanced. Let us see magnesium, here 2 magnesium are present, here also 2 magnesiums, here 2 oxygen atoms are present, here also 2 oxygen atoms are present. Now we will write this equation with their physical state. 2 Mg, Mg is solid, plus oxygen, oxygen is a gas, gives 2 magnesium oxide. This magnesium oxide is what? This is also a solid. Now we have seen the balancing of equation. Now one question arises in our mind, that what is the need to balance the chemical equation? So this is the reason what we have to do. Why we have a need to balance the chemical equation. We have learned about the law of conservation of mass in class 9. So what it states, law of conservation of mass states that matter can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. We cannot create matter with ourselves, and we cannot destroy it. So So the number of elements involved in a chemical reaction should remain same at the reactant and product side. That is why we need to balance the chemical reactions. First we will see about the thermal decomposition. So thermal means what? Thermal means heat. So when the decomposition is carried out by the presence of, means when the decomposition is carried out by heating, then this type of reaction is called thermal decomposition. Here calcium carbonate, when heated, it forms calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. Second type of decomposition is electrolytic decomposition. When decomposition is carried out by passing electricity, in the presence of electricity, when any decomposition takes place, then this type of decomposition is known as what? Electrolytic decomposition. Here we will see the example of electrolytic decomposition. When water is passed through electric current, it get electrolysis of water takes place, means decomposition of water takes place, and water is get splitted into hydrogen and oxygen. Next decomposition method is photolysis decomposition. In photolysis, by the name we can see this photolysis. Photo means light, lysis means breakdown. In the presence of light, when decomposition takes place, this type of decomposition is known as photolytic or photolysis decomposition. Here we will see the example. Silver chloride, when heated in the presence of sunlight, it is decomposed in silver and chloride element separately. This reaction is very important, as this is asked many times in exams, that this is a reaction which is involved in black and white photography. So try to pay attention on this equation. Now we will see the third part of reaction, that is displacement reaction. In this type of reaction, what happens? The reaction in which more reactive element displaces less reactive element from its solution is known as displacement reaction. We will see the example here. Fe, iron, when reacts with copper sulfate, then what it forms here? Fe is more reactive as compared to copper. So it displaces copper from copper sulfate solution and form a product with sulfate. So in product, what it forms? Iron sulfate, ferric sulfate plus copper is left this side. So what we see that iron is more reactive, that's why it displaces copper from copper sulfate solution and it forms iron sulfate and copper. Now we will see here, for performing this in an experiment, what we do, we'll take one iron nail. Iron nail is shiny in color. So that iron nail, when it is dipped in the solution of copper sulfate is in what color? Copper sulfate is present in blue colored solution. It is a blue color solution. So when in this blue color solution, this shiny iron nail is dipped, then what happened? That iron nail get brown color. That iron nail get brown color, that it means the sulfur is get deposited. The sulfur is get deposited on that iron nail, and the color of the iron nail is changed from shiny to that brown color, and this leftover copper solution is turned. This blue color copper sulfate solution is converted into greenish color, as this greenish color substance represent copper. Copper is present and greenish color substance is present in that test tube. Now another fourth type of reaction is double displacement reaction. What happens in double displacement reaction? A reaction in which new compounds are formed by mutual exchange of ions between two compounds is known as what? Double displacement reaction. So mutual exchange of ions means, what does this mean? This means they satisfy the ions of each other. So here we will see the example of sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate, when reacts with barium chloride, it forms barium sulfate and, sorry, here I have written barium chloride. Here what it is sodium chloride. So when sodium sulfate reacts with barium chloride, it forms barium sulfate and sodium chloride. So here what happens, barium has a +2 valency and +2 ions, and sulfate has +2. So both these fulfill their ions, both they satisfy each other by exchanging their ions, and then they form a product that is called barium sulfate. Next type of reaction we will learn about oxidation and reduction reaction. Before that, we will see in this reaction, double displacement reaction, a precipitate is formed. What a precipitate is? A precipitate is a leftover residue that is left over in the, you may say, in the test tube or in a vessel where we are doing that reaction. So precipitate is what? It is an insoluble solid that emerges from a liquid solution. So when the reaction takes place, some liquid is formed, barium sulfate is formed here. This barium sulfate is formed in the presence, barium sulfate is a solid. How it is solid? Barium sulfate is formed and aqueous NaCl is formed. This NaCl is get precipitated here. So it is formed downside of the test tube. This type of residue is called precipitate. Now we will learn about oxidation and reduction reactions. Another type of reaction is oxidation and reduction reaction. So what happens here? Oxidation. What is oxidation? Oxidation is the addition of oxygen to a substance or the removal of hydrogen from a substance is known as oxidation reactions. Means if we add oxygen or we remove hydrogen from any substance, then it is known as what? Oxidation reaction. Here we will see an example. When copper is added with oxygen, here oxidation reaction is taking place as the oxygen is getting added. Here what it is formed? Copper oxide is formed, right? Now reduction reaction. What is reduction reaction? The addition, it is just opposite of this oxidation reaction. Here we are adding oxygen and remove oxygen, hydrogen, and in this reaction what we are doing? Here we are adding hydrogen and removing oxygen. So in reduction reaction, the addition of hydrogen to a substance or the removal of oxygen from a substance is known as what? Reduction reaction. Here we will see, here we are adding copper oxide, we are taking copper oxide. Copper oxide is added with hydrogen. What it is formed? Copper is left over and water is formed here. So this is called reduction reaction. Here one more thing we will see, when here oxygen is removed, removal of oxygen is taking place and addition of hydrogen is also taking place. In both the condition we see here. So in this condition, the reduction of copper is taking place here. Reduction of copper is there, and here oxygen is added with hydrogen. So addition of oxygen is known as what? It is known as oxidation. So here oxidation of hydrogen is taking place. So the reactions in which both oxidation and reduction reactions are taking place simultaneously, these types of reactions are known as what? Redox reactions. The reactions in which both oxidation and reduction are taking place simultaneously, these types of reactions are known as redox reactions. Now we will see the effects of oxidation in our day-to-day life. So first example is corrosion. Corrosion is what? Corrosion is when a metal is exposed to a substance such as moisture, air, water, acid, etc. For some time, a layer of oxide is formed. which weakens the metal, hence a metal is said to be corroded. You have seen rusting of iron, a layer is formed on the surface of our silver ornaments. These are the examples of what? Corrosion. So when a metal is exposed to a substance, when a metal is exposed or when a metal is kept in the presence of moisture, air, when reacts with water or acid in the for some time, so in such reactions, what? A layer of oxide is formed which weakens the metal. Here the metal get weakens and hence the metal is said to be corroded. What are the examples of corrosion? Examples of corrosion are rusting of iron, black coating on silver. Black coating we have seen, black coating of silver. Then green coating on copper. When you have seen that copper utensils get covered with the green coating when they are exposed to air or when it reacts with water. So these are the examples of oxidation. So how we can prevent all these effects of oxidation? We have to prevent this, and for preventing, what we do? We do painting. When we paint that iron, it does not get rusted. So to prevent that rusting of iron, we do painting, and along with painting, what we can do? We can do greasing with that. So to prevent this oxidation, so to prevent this corrosion, we do painting and greasing to the metal. Next is rancidity. Rancidity is what? The oxidation of fat and oil when exposed to air is known as rancidity. You have seen chips packets and all. When we buy a chips packet or any packet, so it is filled with an air. That air is what? The air is filled to prevent the food. Why it is filled? To prevent the food from getting rancid, because when that food material that is what we say, that is fried in oil, when that is exposed to air or oxygen, it produces a bad smell. What it produces? It produces a bad smell and bad odor, or the food gets spoiled. The food gets spoiled. That's why we pack that food substances in nitrogen filled gas. So in that packet, the air that is filled, that is what? That is nitrogen, that is not oxygen, because in presence of oxygen the food material get spoiled. That's why we fill nitrogen in that. So chips packets are filled with nitrogen and oxygen is removed so that the food is prevented from oxidation. Now here we have completed, but two more reactions are there that are chemical reaction that are classified on the basis of temperature. We have seen earlier, that is endothermic reaction and exothermic reaction. So we will see that first and we will end up with this, bind up our chapter. So chemical reactions are classified on the basis of temperature also. These are exothermic reactions and endothermic reactions. Exothermic reactions are what? Reactions in which heat is released along with the formation of product. You have seen that heat is released, the temperature increases, the test tube gets hotter and release of energy. We see evaporated gas is evolved. That type of reaction is called exothermic reaction. What is the example of that exothermic reaction? Burning of natural gas. When CH4, methane, it is a natural gas. When it is burned in presence of oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide plus water and releases heat. Okay, now second is endothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction is what? The reaction which requires energy in form of heat, light and electricity. These type of reaction are called what? Endothermic reactions. Here heat is evolved. Here we have to supply the heat in the form of what? Heat, light and electricity externally. These type of reactions are called what? Endothermic reaction. Examples are what? Examples are same as the decomposition reaction. So this is all about the chapter chemical reactions and equations. Try to read the chapter twice and try to solve the exercises by your own. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.